Nakuru and Naivasha, they've been there. So what is it that you, as Lee Kinyanjui, Governor of Nakuru County, is doing differently to ensure that by the time your term is done, Nakuru County can say, indeed, there has been a leapfrog change in our environment?
I think the first thing that we've all noted, and I think it's good also to note, like this Blue Economy Conference that is coming, these resources have always been with us.
Correct.
But we have a mindset problem. We have a mindset problem in the sense that we have seen that when you sell your products raw, for example, you only get about 30%. But if you just do a little value addition, you can be able to get another 60%. So you grow your crop for 6 months, sell it at 30% the value. But another person comes, just takes it within 1 week, they've added the value up to 60% of what you did with the whole 6 months when you had to grow. So I think there must be a change. It's a paradigm shift that we are really seeking. And I think the biggest thing that we can do as leaders is not necessarily, it's just a paradigm shift. That tell people, we have everything. Is it land? We have it. Is it the human capital? We have it. Is it financial capital? We have it. Is government ready to listen to us and align national agenda with also county needs? Yes, they are ready, and that's why they've come as partners. So really, our work is just to ensure that everybody knows what is where it is supposed to be. The other bigger problem we've had in the past is when government invests heavily in infrastructure, be they roads or railway and all that. The bigger question is the issue of return on investments. Our return on investment on SGR will only make sense if we now use this particular line to export. And now, if we don't build that, then it just becomes an import line. We just use it to bring things from Mombasa. So we now want to change the narrative and say, out of every 5 containers that go to Mombasa, only 2 have cargo in it for export. 3 are empty, and they came full. So I think the point is, what can we be able, this consumerism that has hit us, everything you want to do, you want to think out. So we want to go ahead of that conversation and say, government, for example, is saying housing is a big agenda. Who will produce the $15 million that we are thinking of? Who will produce the maybe 30 million sinks that we are talking about in those particular houses? So I think this is really an opportunity for all of us Kenyans. And you said, what will I have done by the end of my term? I think when it comes to development, again, you cannot target to 5 years or 10 years and all that.
It's progressive.
This is for the good of the people, and it must be divorced from the politics of election after election. When you think about industry, people coming and so to invest, people bringing their long-term investment to Naivasha, that cannot be tagged to an election. That must be a paradigm shift that can last maybe even 100 years to come. The SGR is a permanent feature. It will not change tomorrow. So I think all we are asking now is, can we be able to work together? Can we allow our people to see the bigger opportunity of investing? And allow me also to say, when it comes to the export markets, we have been encouraging our people to grow pyrethrum, which is a big crop within our region. We've also been encouraging them to do potatoes and also avocado. Now, one of the biggest challenges we face in the export market is that, one, if you're to be in the export market, you must be big. Nobody's going to take your 1 ton, 2 ton. The other thing is that you must be reliable. You cannot take 2 tons, then disappear for 6 months, then you come. No, you must be reliable, and the quantities must be at a certain level. We went to one of our marketing expeditions in the Gulf region, and we were told, can you bring 5,000 goats every month? You know, so for you to be able to answer some of those questions, you need to consolidate. You need to get all these economies working together, and that's why even the idea of regional blocks now becomes very fertile, because no one single county can be able to do it. So we are looking into how we can be able to tap this market, work together with our people, and when it comes also to milk and all these other dairy products, we are simply saying, this is the demand. But now we need to go back to the farmers and tell them, for the next 3, 4, 5 years, this is the demand. Let's work back and see how you can be able to improve this. And that's how we can be able to change the economic livelihoods of our people.
All right, and I'd want to hear your pronouncement or your voice on national matters. But before that,